Hey guys, well again, welcome. And I think that tonight's topic, I know we have talked about this one in the past, which joint health is kind of one of those that I think that we could talk about all the time because there are so many people that this is very specific to them, that the joint issues are a big struggle and they really do play a part in how people feel with their life and their health. So this is, like I said, a really good topic, but we're going to actually, hey, Art, sorry, guys. Can you please take them real quick? We're going to start out a little bit different here, though, tonight, guys, and I want to just kind of take a minute because we like to every once in a while, mix things up, maybe have somebody share their story. So if anybody else ever wants to jump on, we love you to do that, too. But I asked Karen tonight if she wouldn't mind kind of sharing her story. And I have known Karen for many, many years. She used to be a personal training client, which is how we got to know each other. And she has used Shaklee products for many years. And she is just now a newly appointed director. So I'm very excited for her. But I asked her if she would just come on and share a little bit about herself and her story. So we're actually going to start with you, Karen. So here we go.
Great. So hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Amanda? Okay. All right. So I actually started using the Shaklee product in 2005. And the reason I actually joined initially was because I was having onset adult asthma. And I went on a regimen of the Shaklee products to get myself off the regimen of prescription drugs. And it worked, and it's worked successfully ever since. And then I found myself enjoying the fact that, or not enjoying the fact that I was putting weight on, and I actually started the cinch program as well and lost 45 pounds with the cinch initially when it was the cinch. Now it's the 180. So I was pretty active in Shaklee for quite a while, and then I had some pretty severe health issues, and I kind of lost steam and lost the track of everything. So, but never quit using the products, and joint health is the subject for tonight, which I use regularly. I've had a hip replacement, a knee replacement, and a rotator cuff surgery. And without that, before surgery and waiting to be able to go back on it, it was really terrible. So I always went back on it, and I use that faithfully every day. Through the fact that I'm actually getting closer and closer to retirement, I wanted to build my business back up and have a little extra to use as a fund for travel when I do retire, which will be in a few years out. But I want to start building again. And in my business, I actually come upon a lot of people that are aging and that have already aged and have a lot of health issues. And I have a really good opportunity from time to time to be able to share what we can do for them. And I felt that was my next stepping stone. So I went ahead and, with the advice of Amanda's encouragement and my mental stability, the little voice inside my head said, you got to do this now. I went ahead and took the plunge, and now I am going to be building my own team with Amanda right beside me. Right, Amanda?
Nope, I'm out of here. Once you're a director, I leave.
No. So anyway, so I told her I'd keep it short. So that's it. So
that was awesome. Thanks for sharing, Karen.
Okay, you're welcome.
Good to hear from some different people. So I appreciate it. And
thank you.
Yeah, that was great. And just to mention here real fast for some of you guys that don't stay on for our business training, I want to make sure you guys know that next week is Heather Chastain. So our entire Zoom is going to be devoted to her. So please make sure you guys get on. That is a very big deal to have the president of, US and Canada on our team call next week, our team Zoom. So please be on next week and invite people. I'm not posting that on Facebook. This is special for you guys. This is just for our team. So please note, this is, again, just for you guys. So make sure you're marking off next Monday night, 8:30, same time. And we won't have a product focus next week. It will just be Heather. So just, again, mark your calendars for that. So, all right, well, let's get into our topic. Thanks again there, Karen. And getting into joints here, and I think that, these first few things here I think are just important to highlight because I feel like there are, statistics out there that sometimes you think, yeah, I know them, but they really emphasize the importance of why we pick these topics. And, joints, unfortunately, we're all aging. If we start to add extra weight onto our bodies, that's a huge issue for our joints. If you tend to have a job that's repetitive, you stand, you do, for example, you drive a car all the time. It's that repetitive use that really can also wear and tear on our joints. Family history, they can be genetic issues that tend to be why you're having some issues with your joints. And also, making sure that we keep the muscles that are supporting our joints very strong, because that will make a difference also in what happens with our joints as we age. And I don't think that a lot of people also realize that, when we think of joint issues, you might think of arthritis, osteo and rheumatoid arthritis are your main ones, but also it ties into autoimmune type disorders that also affect your joints. So I think this is interesting. If you look at this third bullet point here, that among chronic diseases in the United States, arthritis causes more disability than any other condition. And again, I just think that's very interesting that, rheumatoid arthritis is the third most common type of arthritis behind osteoarthritis, gout, and rheumatoid arthritis actually affects approximately 1 million people in the United States. So this is a big topic. And when we can, talk about some options that could enhance people's life, that's what this is all about. And that's why we do these Zooms. So, we want to hear from you guys. And, sometimes, yes, we might repeat a topic every now and then, but I'm not going to do it exactly the same every time. I want you to always know that there are, we could spend hours on each one of these topics, and we spend 15, 20 minutes. So we're just highlighting some things that will hopefully bring some, areas that could help you to be able to share with other people, or for yourself, some ideas and ways that you can improve your health or be able to share with other people. So rheumatoid arthritis is actually an autoimmune disease. So, most people think of autoimmune diseases just as things like Crohn's, lupus, MS. But these are very, very specific to, if you look at the prevalence of autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis is by far a greater concern of what is diagnosed compared to any other autoimmune disorder out there. And again, when you think of what happens with arthritis, all of them are going to be affecting your joints. So osteoarthritis is the most common type, and you have degenerative joint disease. And the places that most times you start to notice the pain are going to be hips, hands, knees, lower back, and neck. And as you look at what happens with arthritis, you can see in this picture here, number one is going to be your bone. Number two is the cartilage. And as that starts to wear away, that space in the middle is going to start to continue to get fragments of the cartilage that start to deteriorate. And as that space increases, that's where we start to get pain. We lose the cushioning between our joints. And if we look at some of the options that are used, a lot of them are going to be typical pain reliever type things, but it doesn't actually take care of what we need to, which is get rid of the inflammation. So, acetaminophen is going to be probably the most common, pain option that people would use. But when you look at getting rid of that with inflammation with using any of these types of products, you think it's doing that, and it might give you temporary relief, but all of them have side effects. And that's what we want people to be noting, that, if you're trying injections, you're trying, surgeries to help with some of these things, oftentimes it's going to be short-term relief, but yet have long-term effects. And if you look at here, the bullet points underneath warnings of medications, acetaminophen is the #1 cause of liver failure in the United States. I think that's a pretty staggering number there. You don't hear people talk about that very often. Ibuprofen can be damaging to the kidneys, and naproxen is another one that's used, very common for pain, and that can actually increase your risk for heart attack. So when we look at things that painkillers, oftentimes too become an issue because they're addictive. Once you start, you can't get off from them. And, and it's a hard thing, because when people are in pain, they're just trying to find ways to get relief. And that's what we want to bring about, is just ways that we can naturally find some options. And this is going to be one that, Karen mentioned at the beginning, she's a big fan of this joint health complex. And I could tell you many, many stories of people that would also say the same. But there are lots of different formulations out there of products that claim that they help improve joints and their health and slow down actually the deterioration of your joint. And the #1 thing you always want to note and ask, are there any clinical studies that actually validate the claims? And that's what we're going to talk about here in a second, is we actually have the data that proves this product can actually improve joint health. And This is one that's great too because it's very, very fast acting. And there's several key components in this, which number one, you guys probably, are reading the screen here, glucosamine. We've all heard of glucosamine. It's very, very popular and it's used in lots of different ways, but there are different types of glucosamine. And when you look at that, what type of glucosamine is actually being used is what makes this very, very different. And glucosamine hydrochloride is going to be in this along with boswellia. And we'll talk about that too here in a second. Vitamin C, zinc, copper, manganese. And the thing that's very key is actually the glucosamine that's used is actually shellfish free, where most sources actually come from a seafood source. And a lot of people are very allergic to many products that are geared towards joints. So, and the fact that this is chondroitin free, because when you add chondroitin to it, that's best if it's injected, where if you actually have the right type of glucosamine, it's going to be better absorbed. And that's where the studies are important to back up the claims. We also have an issue with many products now that people take is having a lot of additives, things that you don't need added to your body for sure. And any product that you look at, you want to make sure what Shaklee's product has been for over 100 years, that their claims are Shaklee will never create any product that harms any tissue or cell in our body. So that these products are actually working at the cellular level. So when you can guarantee they don't add things like colors and preservatives and coatings that don't break down, even gluten is added to a lot of products, which that's a huge trigger for many people that have gluten in any type of form. It can create a lot of insensitivities for people and actually have some different symptoms from that. So what we want to have is the most concentrated form of glucosamine. So when we look at the glucosamine here, and what we have is different options for, sorry here guys, I'm going to skip ahead here real quick, how it works, that the joint health complex is actually found to work in 3 ways. And I think this is an excellent graphic to show this. So it supports your joints. Here's glucosamine number 1, that improves the cushioning between the joints. Number 2, the vitamin C and the trace minerals help with the connective tissue around your joint. And the boswellia is number 3. That's what works really fast, kind of like your ibuprofen, to help increase the joint comfort. So there's really 3 properties that make this joint health complex very unique compared to anything else in the marketplace today. And this is also very interesting too, because when you look at boswellia, the reason that they say that this can act as up into 5 days that you notice a difference, that most of the times when you look at a lot of the products out there, there's maybe a very limited amount of what ingredients are stated on the label. And when you find what's in this one, you'll actually see in the studies that the most concentrated form of glucosamine is used, but also a very fast-acting form of boswellia. So it helps to get rid of the inflammation very, very quickly. And that's why you notice a much more rapid difference in how you feel. So some of the benefits here that have been proven, helps improve joint comfort as little as 5 days, up to 28% faster joint comfort than claimed by other leading brands, more effective joint comfort ingredients, and 45% better joint comfort than ingredients in other leading brands. So, I think that when you're looking for options for relief, there are so many things out there that people try. There's I know right now that, the CBD oils, all the things that are becoming very popular for pain relief, you want to be careful because you want to know what is going to be the long-term effects of what you're using. And I repeat this a lot because I think it's important, it's not talked about enough, is people want the instant results, but we need to know what are the long-term effects of what we're going to be consuming. So when we look at some options for that joint health complex, we mentioned the arthritis, but I also want to note some other things that are really important to talk about here. Carpal tunnel. That would be an issue that a lot of times we don't necessarily relate that to being a joint issue, but it is. If you know someone that has, bursitis would be another. Think of all your itises. Those are inflammation type issues. Tendinitis, frozen shoulder, MS would be one we would talk about with this. Fibromyalgia. All of these things are related to joints. If you know someone that's recently had an injury, you want to get something like this in their body, the last product we're talking about there, that joint health, because it's going to help to increase their recovery. Also someone maybe that just, had joint surgery. To again help keep that joint, what's left of it, working very efficiently to help again flush out whatever could be creating long-term effects to create some soreness. And overexertion would be another use for this. So we always call them our weekend warrior type people, that you go out and you do too much. This can really help to decrease the soreness. So we use Joint Health Complex in a lot of different ways. But again, it's just, I think, a really important one to highlight that there are no side effects with this. You don't need to worry about taking this with any medications, and it's not going to be something that you have to worry about being addicted to, like we were talking about those pain relievers, right? If it's going to help you feel better, yeah, you're going to want to keep taking it, but you're not going to have withdrawal symptoms when you go off from it. And I wrote down some notes here real quick that I wanted to read to you guys of why you would want to take this beyond, some of the conditions we just mentioned, but things, that oftentimes we don't always relate to just joints, but also connective collagen. This can be used for that. Cushioning and lubricating. So, if you're noticing some people get grinding in their joints, I hear some of I have a couple personal training clients that, their knees crack when they walk up the stairs. And it doesn't hurt them yet, but that could be something that long-term you could have some issues later. So by getting some extra lubrication in the joints, that can only help. Anti-inflammatory, we mentioned, and helping with things like bone regeneration. Now, you can't regrow, certain things like, cartilage, for example, but you can maintain what you have left. And that's a big part of this, is trying to work on keeping what you do have left healthy, and also helping with stiffness. This is a big one. When I mentioned fibromyalgia, people have fibromyalgia and they wake up in the morning, they have a difficult time moving. Their joints ache. It's very uncomfortable. So something like this that can possibly help create a overall wellness feeling of feeling better, it is going to make them so much more active and want to do more. And that's what it's all about. So Boswellia is, in case you didn't know what that is real quick, I wanted to make sure I do mention that it's actually an Ayurvedic herbal anti-inflammatory that is used in many other countries over things like our acetaminophen that we use here. It's used for, again, many, many different health concerns in other countries. So again, it's not talked a whole lot about here, but it's very, very important to note that it could be a great option for pain relief. And when we're talking about joints here really quickly, I want to also mention, I guess I should mention too there, guys, though. The Joint Health, by the way, 2 capsules a day is what you would take. And the reason we're highlighting this product this week is because for the month of June, it's actually Men's Nutrition Month. And one of the highlighted things is going to be Joint Health Complex, not just for men, for women too. But it's 15% off this month, off member price. So this is a great time to try it. And remember, there's always 100% money back guarantee. So it's never anything to lose by actually trying something like this. And we talk about fast acting though, and that's why I wanted to also mention this topical pain cream, that this is one thing that's also very unique about anything you find with a Shaklee product, especially that is something like a lotion. Remember, when you rub something on your skin, it should be instantly absorbed. And many times your icy hots and your creams that are out there that are supposed to provide instant relief, they don't absorb immediately because they have a bunch of added things to them. So this is going to be immediately absorbed. So when you need something fast acting, this has a patented liposome delivery system. So when it's rubbed onto that area, it's going to create a heated feeling. There's no parabens, anything you don't want, and it's non-greasy. So it won't, a lot of times you put something on, you put your shirt on and, you can see, oh great, it's, all sticky and I don't want to go out in it. It is amazing because you could use this anytime. And it also has in there, similar to what, and you'll see here, it says Joint Health Complex Pain Relief, and joint and muscle pain cream. But the pain relief complex is another, natural pain reliever that we use in combination with the joint health complex like we're talking about and the pain cream. And they have similar properties, and this pain cream has what's called the ability to turn off all 3 prostaglandins. So what blocks your pain sensors, this can do. Now this is going to be pretty short acting, but you massage it into the area and it's very, very fast acting. So, great to use. You have a tough workout, or, we mentioned some of those things, arthritis, those joint issues, specifically where the pain is. This is something you can use to be, again, very fast acting and to help with relieving pain. So, and the last thing I mentioned there was the pain relief complex. Again, we're tying it all to things that help with joints. And this would be the other one that has the Boswellia in there, just like the Joint Health Complex. And this just explains a little bit more in what we're talking about when I mentioned, the whole prostaglandins and how that works, if we can inhibit the specific ones that are related to pain, you can actually decrease the symptoms and how you feel. So this is why we love something like a pain relief complex, because it's not going to have the long-term effects. And your COX-2 products, like your Motrin, your ibuprofen, you can see aspirin, Aleve there listed, that they all can cause bleeding. That's a long-term effect, actually, from any of those. So we want to know that there are definitely options that do not create that, and pain relief complex would be one of them. So, so again, just kind of recapping there, guys, for joints, lots of different options to try for natural pain relief. And, you know, there are even other things we can include in this topic, but we're staying specific to these, you know, these areas tonight. So I hope that was helpful. And I always like to leave a little bit of time for questions here, guys. So, so we're right on time here. Is there anything you guys would like to ask or add or mention here real quick?
Yeah, Amanda?
Yeah.
So if the joint health's 15% off and someone's on auto ship already for it.
Great question. They'll get the discount. It is on auto ships too. So.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Good question. But it would be a good idea to tell people, because the expiration date is actually quite a ways out on these, to, you know, stock up a little bit, because it's a good deal. So good question. Good. All right, guys. Yeah.
Just another quick question. Is there any benefit to taking more than 2 a day?
No, that's a great question, actually. And no, not with, this isn't one like alfalfa or some or other things we take for inflammation to give more relief.
Okay.
Just taking 2 a day is going to be, you know, sufficient. But the pain relief complex, you may need more than what is suggested on that for sure. But taking more won't create, you know, any difference in how it acts. So good question.
Does it matter what time of day you take it?
Nope, this one doesn't matter either. Another great question. Yep, you can take this anytime. A lot of people do like to take it with food, though. You know, it doesn't say that on the label, but it's not a bad idea. So, yep, anytime. But I do suggest, though, actually, Drew, now that you mentioned that, you know, sometimes, like I said, somebody with fibromyalgia, taking it first thing, actually, before they even get out of bed, can sometimes help to ease their morning routine. Some people I've had with arthritis, they actually wake up in the middle of the night with a lot of pain. So I tell them to take it before bed. So it kind of can depend on the person too.
Yeah.
Good. All right, guys. Well, I hope that was helpful, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to learn, listen, and, you know, share this, guys. That's why we're doing these, is specifically for you guys. So, you know, love to hear ideas and what might help you guys, and feel free to always chime in with questions. So thanks, guys. We're going to move into our business training here for you guys that need to go. Feel free to. Otherwise, we'll just switch gears here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Yuda.
Thanks. See ya. Have a good week. All right. Okay, guys. So right away here, I want to make sure we just start out here really fast. Again, I can't emphasize enough. Next week, we need to make sure we get on, guys. We recruit everybody that we can, especially anybody you just want them to learn more about Shaklee. There will be, you know, probably, I think the information geared more towards distributors and builders. But we're not going to blast this on Facebook, because I want this to be more of a specific to, you know, our team. Like I keep saying, she's here for our group. So people that are building their businesses, that's more of our target. So, so I want to make sure you guys know that. And, you know, you start to mention this to people. So, and I do not know what she's talking about yet. If you guys wonder, I have not heard back yet from the person that emailed and responded that she's planning on it. So as soon as I do, I'll let you guys know. If you do have some things you would love to learn from her, please let me know. I'll email right away, because I think that this is a unique opportunity to have her with us personally, kind of via Zoom. So I'm excited. So, all right. Okay, guys, any questions about that, or anything you want to mention before I kind of get into our topics here? Anything you guys have going on you want to talk about?
Amanda?
Yeah.
Super random, but will that pain relief cream, would that work for menstrual cramps?
That's a great question. Yes, Kate. Actually, that's a really good one. Yep.
Okay.
I used to use it all the time when I get cramps really bad. So yeah, and it does. It's just like a heating pad. So yeah, great question. Good. All right. Okay, guys. Well, I always like to cover different areas of our business. And I know there's a lot going on right now. We're doing a lot of planning, conferences coming, things are going to change a little bit. There'll probably be some new things coming up, but we want to really keep our momentum going and keep focusing on what we can do to make June really strong and build into July. We're getting into summer, which has pros and cons, right? We are a different schedule. Everybody else is a different schedule. So we need to be thinking and planning. And I probably say this too weekly, guys. Consistency. That's what we all need to work on, is getting ourselves in a habit of doing things and trying to create different patterns of how we do things to help reach more people. So one of the things I wanted to just kind of start with is your communication, how you're starting to develop, hopefully, some more clients coming in. Maybe you're starting to think of someone you would like to introduce the business to or becoming a distributor to. I think this very first bullet point is a great one that is really a great tip for all of us, because I know I still struggle with this. But when we talk to someone, do we know what we should actually share with them? Do we bombard them and send them everything possible, or maybe we don't send them anything because we're scared? And so this is a really good learning curve for all of us to know what we should start to send people when we start to make that initial conversation. And again, this goes for both business and product. But one of the best things that I encourage you guys all to do, that I'm getting back to just writing in my good old planner here, is when I do talk to someone, keep track of it, know what you talked about, and have your calendar ready to go this month. So that's why the end of May, I gave you guys like a week of ideas. If you're following in our Facebook page, just some ideas to stir maybe some different thoughts and how you could be leading into more conversations and preparing you for June. And we want to go back to those and look at now, can we maybe plan some events around what we shared with someone? Maybe you offered a special on trying to get people to order the Peach Life Shake last month, and unfortunately it's gone now. So we might come back and say, hey, I'm so sorry I offered that special, but I wanted to make it up to you guys, and so I'm going to give $5 off the Strawberry Life Shake this month because I think you would love it. Build off the calendar of events that you're starting to see yourself doing, and being creative with that. Here's a great example. We do smoothie workshops, and I can tell you guys, if we did a same smoothie workshop every single month, we would not have attendance. We have to mix it up. We have to try doing different things. We have to pick different days. We always throw a different topic in there too. Like, again, peach was the kind of the last big focus. So it's the same thing with what we're doing with talking to people. So, think of how you can introduce them in the right way and what you could share with them. So here's an example of something to send to someone after you had an initial conversation with someone. And you're thinking, maybe they asked a question about Joint Health Complex. What are you going to share with them? Here's a really good idea that if you didn't do this in person, you guys should write up your story. Write up your story. You could even do, if you're comfortable doing video, you could tape yourself doing it. But have your story available that you can share with people, because the more that they can relate to you personally, the more excited they are going to be to try this, because they know it's a real person telling a real story versus someone just trying to sell them a product. The health print, you could maybe send them a health print link if you think that would help lead them in the best direction for getting them to learn more. But a lot of times, someone that maybe was just interested in a joint health complex, the health print might be a little overwhelming for them, right? Because there's so much in that. So you kind of got to gear and talk to more people, so you kind of get the feel by listening to them of where you should start to send them. Here's another one. Maybe you should send them the Shaklee Difference video. Shaklee TV, guys, you should go check that out more often, because there's a lot of videos on there that are hidden that could be really useful. I was just listening to a couple the other day. There's some on like different people sharing their stories. There was one on a teacher. And I was thinking, that'd be a great one to send some teachers, and how during summertime they were looking for a part-time job. And it was only like 3 minutes. And those are just great, simple things that are already done that you don't have to recreate, that you could just share. There's also, Shaklee Effect videos, or some of those, that's kind of the testimonials. You have an online product guide. Did you guys know that? You can send somebody a digital online product guide from your website. Anybody know that? Okay, this link might not work now because this is an old one, but there is a link right from your website that you could send someone the entire catalog, which might be overwhelming. But you could also use that link to maybe do a Zoom with someone, which would be a great idea. And then you could flip through the catalog with them, like this. That's a great way to introduce somebody to Shaklee. And again, you got to kind of figure out the different person, but here's where I think people stumble. If somebody just wants Joint Health Complex, you're kind of torn. Do you charge a retail price? Do you have them join as a member? You really want them to be a preferred member because you know that you can get then free shipping on a $150 order. But then you would also like to maybe share a distributor because you think it's somebody that might be good to work with. So you have all these options. So how do you best explain it to them? And then the pricing difference. If that confuses you, if you don't understand it, how are you going to share it with them? So these are the things that we want to keep breaking down and make it simple for other people. So if we can kind of just get in a routine of listening to them, listening to needs. If somebody tells you, I want to try Joint Health Complex, that's all I'm interested in. Don't go and share with them all these other tools and videos, and they're going to totally be turned off and say, all I wanted was to try a Joint Health Complex. So at that point, charge a retail price. And then when you check in with them and they loved it, there's your opportunity to say, well, did you know you can get it cheaper? Perfect. Boom. There's your introduction for explaining the different membership options. But don't make decisions for people. A lot of times I think we, again, automatically assume we want somebody to be a preferred member because we get a bonus for that. And we thinking, no, it's good for them because they get free shipping. But there are some people out there that I'll tell you guys that they actually want to pay the $20 and they're happy to do that because they don't feel like they're getting sucked into anything where they have to understand what an auto ship is and all these other things. So, it can be hard on us because we have so many options, but simplify it for yourself. Maybe you pick one or two that you really do like, and those are the ones you tend to go with most. Now, then you could also figure out, how can I introduce from somebody just wanting a Joint Health Complex? How could I possibly introduce that to someone as a business opportunity? That's where you got to start thinking outside the box. Let's say the person that said they really wanted to try the Joint Health Complex, that they are a dedicated member to Evergreen Commons, I'm going to say. You know what? You can mention to them, perfect in. I know you just want to try this Joint Health Complex, but I want you to be thinking about all of your friends and people that that may have some issues like you with arthritis and joints, and you could really get your products for free. And I'd love to share with you how you could do that. That's a great in. You didn't explain too much. You didn't overtalk it. You just gave them the option, right? And that's what I think we got to get better at, though, guys. It's not always like, and I know, again, it sounds easier when somebody else does it, but as you practice it, I promise it will get easier and easier. And then throwing out there, too, remember, you can get free membership options. People like to hear that. Instead of maybe throwing out, preferred member, that's how you get a free membership. Just initially say there are ways you can get a free membership, right? If you order a Vitalizer, you get a free membership with that. Or you can do the $150 product and get a free membership. So, we really do have ways, I think, to cater to everyone. So just keep thinking about that, though, guys, and really trying to get them educated. That's what these product calls are so good for. And that's why I keep doing them, guys. I believe that this is a missing tool for so many people's businesses, is they don't educate enough on why our products are so special and different. And, get people on these. I try to let you guys know what the topic is, usually not till a day or so before, because I kind of wait to see if anybody's asked something or if there's, like I said, a special, which that's why I chose Joint Health here. But how can you share with them something that's going to continue to get them educated? Remember the betterhealth in31days.com, add the /AV Wellness, so you guys don't have to pay for that site. If you go to the site, you can do your own membership, but you do have to pay I think it's $19 a month. So I just opened mine up for you guys. So just add the /AV Wellness, and you can go on there and pick some webinars to share with people. Give people an incentive. Maybe someone in another state that you would love to get them to understand more about the Joint Health products. If you guys go into that Better Health in 31 Days, there's at least 4 videos that you could send them on understanding more about Joint Health. Say if you listen to 2 of them, I'll give you free shipping if you decide to place an order. Give them an incentive. That's great. And the more that they listen and learn, I tell you guys, you will have customers that are created for life once they know why, because they get it. And that's what's really, again, I think something that we need to get better at is explaining the whole Shaklee difference and getting them to know about the product. So any questions, guys? I know I'm talking here a lot, so I'll open up to you guys here real fast. Perfect. Guys, you're making this easy. All right. I also just wanted to kind of give you, every once in a while, I think this is a good idea. I have no idea why Becky's name keeps popping up. I somehow must have not done a very good job on say screenshotting. I got Becky's name in here a couple times for some reason. But when you guys, are looking at different options of maybe reading things, I like to mention every once in a while just some different resources. And you guys keep investing in yourself. I can't emphasize that enough. So, a conference I bring up every Zoom right now because it's coming up very quickly. That's obviously a way to work on your development. But even books, podcasts, different webinars, different trainings that are out there, take the time. You got to keep learning, and that's only going to help you grow. So here's just a couple things that I thought I would give you guys some new ideas of. And you may have heard them before, you might not have, but I just thought I'd throw them out there. And I think they all kind of have some different elements of teaching you a little bit more about leadership and network marketing, some, but they're all very specific to different areas of developing your business and developing you. So I encourage you guys to keep, reaching out there, finding different books and resources and learning and growing. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing here real fast, guys. And I just also want to highlight, I know, Karen, you just got you will get the $100 incentive from me that if anybody increases rank from now until the end of September, doesn't matter if you're direct to me, underneath anybody else, I opened up for everybody. Anybody that increases rank between now and September, you get a $100 bonus. So, take advantage of these little incentives that are offered too, because, it can really help you and can help also pay for a little bit of the conference. We're going to plan our next team meeting on June 15th at 10 a.m. So if you guys don't have that on your calendar, we're going to talk a little bit more about conference there. I also want to mention to you guys, there's been a lot of posts going around. Sarah, I know you asked me about it, but there's this Prove It challenge coming out. And people wonder what it is. It's a pilot group right now. And I'll show you guys some of the slides they actually shared on the cruise with us to give you a little more information about it. It all has to do with a way that somebody could start with doing the strip and shake and be able to earn a bonus back immediately. So they're trying to make a simplified way for new people to earn money fast. So this Prove It challenge is a 30-day challenge that I think they're going to open up to everybody probably after conference. They've just been doing some trial runs on it, but I know if you follow anybody else, you've probably seen it posted here and there. So I just want to kind of give you a little heads up on what that was. So, I think that there's a lot of great things in the making, and I'm excited to hear what they launch. But note that all these challenges and things, you don't have to do anything, but I think the best thing that you guys can do if you want to keep growing is to try different things. So, trying something out of your comfort zone. That's why the last week of the month, May, I was trying to get you guys try a Facebook Live, which I didn't see anybody do a Facebook Live. Hint, hint, you could still do those. Maybe you could plan an event this month. If you want to do an event with me, let me know. I think that by the more that we can offer people, it helps us and it helps them. So keep that in the back of your mind. And also, if you do have any interest, if you're going to conference, remember you want to achieve Star Achiever status with all the special perks. You have actually through June to be able to achieve that new rank. So I want to make sure you guys know that you have through June to be able to do that. So, all right, guys, let's open up for questions or anything anybody wants to add or comment on or share. This would be a good time to do it. I'll also mention you guys here real fast if you're thinking some things. Last month, a lot of you guys really pulled out some amazing things at the end of the month. So I encourage you guys to put some of that at the beginning of the month so you're not so stressed at the end of the month. So great job, though, really trying to work your business. And don't let it get away, guys. June will go fast. So that's why I'm saying get on it right now. Get excited. Get motivated. Pick something. I really strongly believe every day, pick something to do, okay? I don't care what it is, but if you get yourself on a schedule and you're consistent, your business will grow. Might be slow, might be fast, depending on how much effort you're putting in, but I promise it will grow. So, all right, guys, anybody think of anything they want to add or mention? I was waiting for you to say, Sarah, you're so mad about the peach life shakes, but you didn't say anything, so. Yeah.
I get mad about that.
I know a lot of people are. There's a lot of people commenting. Though the same thing happened last year. Exactly. It was like maybe 3 weeks and it was gone and everybody.
Yeah, but I feel like last year they said it'll be out within like the week.
It kind of did this year too, though. I mean, you have to follow those groups though in order to see it.
That's the thing. Like I wish they would send like an email or something because I can't follow.
Yeah, I know that is kind of hard to. Oh, I should mention to you guys one more thing. Stacy, you probably don't see this, Karen. You probably haven't seen it either yet, but They did open it up, so if you guys want any, you don't get PV for them, but the vanilla life shakes, the packets, you can buy one, get one free for the 30 serving packets of the life shakes. So that's like 50 cents a piece to hand out a sample of the vanilla life shake. So that's a great deal. So if you want any, if you can't order them yourself, let me know. And I do have a bunch, but it is available through June 30th. So I want to make sure you guys knew that. But the dumb thing is you buy one soy and you're 50% off what is the plant. So you can't pick getting 2 soy. You have to get one and you get the other one 50% off. So, and you can't do those on auto ship, just a heads up. But
So Amanda, is the only June special the joint health?
it is. Yep. That's the only special. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw something else out there, maybe middle of the month, but I'm guessing that they're so busy getting ready for conference though, that's all that's going on, I think. So,
Okay.
Yep. But we can always come up with our own too. So, there's always room to get creative. But June is kind of a tough month. I said, I feel like you're getting into the school year and, people starting to travel. And I do think though, like Hydrate Plus is a really big one coming up here, summer and doing stuff like that would be a great idea. Same with July and people traveling, I said, think of traveling packs, things that people use when they travel, always a good idea. So yeah. All right. It's good, guys. Well, I hope it was helpful. And I know we're out of time here. So I'll hang out, though, if you guys want to stay on here. We're right on time, though. So feel free to hang out, ask questions, guys, and keep going. So good work, everybody. You all had great growth last month. Every one of you on here, guys, had some of your great months. So good to see. So, all right. Enjoy your night. It's still light out. Go outside and play. Just kidding. It's like freezing. It's going to snow again. Cold.
No.
I'm just kidding. We just came from softball game, so I'm still freezing. He's showing off his airplanes again. Thanks, Trent. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop
Peach is
recording.
completely gone.
What's that?
Peach is completely gone.
It is completely gone.